Hello, you're listening to Politics Uncensored with me, Zoe Grunewald. And unfortunately, Ali is ill, so he can't make it in today. But joining me in the studio is comedian and host of Privacy Settings on FUBAR Radio, Will Sebag-Montefiore.
Hello!
Hello, Merry Christmas, Will.
Can't say that anymore, Zoe.
Sorry, I should say Happy Holidays.
Yeah.
Is that better for you?
Siddiqui Christmas, that's
Yeah.
what you got to say.
Very
in London these days.
So you won't be obviously eating turkey or celebrating the birth of Jesus Christ. What
No.
will you be doing this Christmas?
Tofu and butter for me.
Nice.
Yeah.
I'm going to go to Dover and help some asylum seekers get across, I
Oh,
think.
great stuff. Yeah. I'm actually using turkey as flotation devices to help people
Nice.
get across
Oh, good.
instead of eating them.
They'll like that.
Yeah.
Okay, forget the week unwrapped this week. We're going to do presents unwrapped, if you can say that.
Yeah,
Yeah?
I think you can say presents.
We're going to go over the best and worst political moments of 2025 because it is our last show of the year. And boy, oh boy, have there been some pretty horrific moments this year. Some real political corkers and, of course, some brilliant gaffes. We're going to be getting into all of that. We're going to be starting with our first category in a minute. But first of all, let's just talk about what this year's been like in politics. Because for me, I was trying to think if there was like a word I could use to sum it up, right? And I kept thinking disappointing. But then I was like, that's not really good enough. Like, I'm disappointed with the Labour government. But actually, if I like zoom out of, you know, kind of like Westminster-y political perspective, I'm not just disappointed with this government. I'm gobsmacked at the way they are allowing and paving the way for the far right to march in.
Yeah.
We perceivably could get Nigel Farage in number 10 in a few years. They've done absolutely nothing to ease declining living standards, intergenerational inequality, the oppression of minorities, all these kind of things. So, and this is happening across the world, right? So disappointing feels like a little bit of an understatement.
Just when you put it like that, yeah.
It's a bit more than disappointing, isn't
Yeah,
it?
I'd say really disappointing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because
Yeah.
when you're at school and you get, you know, when your mum or your teacher's disappointed in you, like, that's one thing. But I think my mum's more than disappointed in the country and the world and the state of politics.
Yeah, this isn't just we're going to turn the Wi-Fi off at 9 p.m, is it? For a week or so.
No.
This is, oh, good one, Keir. We're about to get some Nazi fash in number 10.
Yeah, I don't understand what they're doing. I really don't understand why they're trying to sort of toe the line where no one who wants to vote reform is going to vote for reform light. They'll just vote for reform. And then there was this slight, I feel like, maybe you can speak to this more maybe, but when Zach Polanski started, you know, nailing everything and like growing the Greens, it felt like they started trying to like, they were like, oh, maybe we'll do something a bit nice actually. And but then they haven't done, and I don't.
Lol, psych.
Yeah.
I'm
Gotcha.
joking.
But yeah, I don't know. I don't understand why they don't seem like for about 5 minutes in July last year. I was like, oh, I'm quite hopeful, and then it died.
Yeah, and then they were like, actually, we're going to clamp down on free speech, and we're going to tax you more. And that'll be all right, won't it? That'll keep Nigel Farage out of number 10.
But Rachel Reeves has stuck to her fiscal rules, which is why I voted for them.
And which is why there aren't going to be 2 puddings at Christmas this year. It's just going to be one, discounted one, because nobody can bloody afford anything. And of course, it isn't just UK politics we're going to be talking about. We're also going to be talking about a little bit about what's going on in the rest of the world, because I would say, obviously, Trump being back in the White House has been horrific on a number of levels. But, and can I say this, he does offer some light comic relief from time to time.
Yeah, look, all sex offenders do at some point, you know?
Yeah.
Like, there's a moment when a guy, like, opens his jacket that you're like, oh, there could be sweets under there, and there's not. There's a horrifying sexual assault. But, yeah.
Yes.
And maybe Farage will bring that when he inevitably gets in, because the states are, like, 5 years ahead of us or something, right, aren't they?
Yeah.
We can just look over there and be like, that's what's going to happen next.
Yeah, well, yes, we'll see. I have a feeling that once you pull back the curtain on Nigel Farage, there isn't a kind of humorous old man there. There's just a evil Thatcherite who will do and say whatever he wants for a bit of Bitcoin.
Yeah.
Anyway, we're going to get...
Merry Christmas, everybody.
Merry Christmas. We'll get into all of that. But let's go straight into our first category, which is biggest gaffe, okay? Last year, we had so many good ones to choose from. I think our winner was when Keir Starmer asked Hamas to release the sausages.
Amazing.
Really good.
What an unbelievable thing to happen.
Christmassy as well, to some extent.
Let the sausages out of their blankety beds.
But let's go into some contenders this year. So I have a few, okay? And I'm sure you have a few. Let's talk about them. The first was Keir Starmer doing the viral 6-7 meme when visiting a primary school and then having to apologise soon after. Do we have a clip for that? We do.
We have a clip.
We're going to hear it now. No.
Can't hear it.
It's fine.
I don't mind. We can see it. The kid's so cute.
Oh, they're all loving it.
Yeah.
Does he know?
Does he know that it's banned?
Yeah.
No, well.
Does he know it's a meme?
I think he does. I'm pretty impressed that he knew, but it is also the death of the meme. As soon as like a parent does it, it's game over.
Yeah.
But the Prime Minister's doing it, that's even more game over. I actually think this is the most human I've seen Keir Starmer because he got told off, right? And he had to apologise to the head teacher, and his response was, "I didn't start it, miss." Which is a great response. Yeah. But it's also the same thing he does in PMQs. When he's just like blaming everything on 14 years of Tory rule.
It's not my fault.
I didn't start it, miss. He may as well say that to Kenny every time.
You know, when I first saw this clip, I was like, I don't know what the fuck the 6-7 meme is. And I felt really old. And then, I'm not even joking, some kid came up to me and did it in Sainsbury's yesterday.
What?
Some kid was like, you know when kids sort of walk up to you and they're like, excuse me, I've got this for Christmas. And then I was like listening and sort of smiling like, oh, that's nice. Yeah. And then he was like, and it was 6-7, and then did that thing. And I was like, I don't understand you. I don't understand what you're talking about.
You saw it in the wild.
I felt like Keir Starmer, so I actually have a lot of, respect for him. He handled it better than me. He went along with it at least. I was like, what are you doing?
Maybe he had no idea and he just copied the child.
But I think you're right there. It was a very human moment.
Yeah, I think you're all right.
The thing that frustrates me about Keir Starmer, and I guess the team around Keir Starmer, is that they're really not very good at selling him as a human. Because actually, if you hear the reasons people don't like Keir Starmer, it's often because they think he's inauthentic or they don't actually know enough about him, and that makes them suspicious of him. They feel like he's not being real.
Yeah.
Actually, I've not heard someone say, actually, I have got to know Keir Starmer, or I have read about Keir Starmer, I have seen him do a human interview like that, and I just really don't like the way he comes across. Like, he doesn't have that objectivity that Nigel Farage or Donald Trump could have.
Totally.
Like, he seems just like a standard normal bloke.
Yeah, but the fact that isn't coming across is amazing. Because I think a big criticism as well is like that he doesn't stand for anything, which I think is why the normal sort of thing doesn't land a lot of the time. Because like, but what do you want? If you can be this like charming and chill with a bunch of kids, then why can't you understand the like, what's the word, the atmosphere in the country?
And come out and, pull your tie down and unbutton your stiff shirt and say, 6-7. Whatever it means. I still don't know what it means. What does it mean?
It started off as a meme, which I think was a basketball thing.
Yeah.
It's from a song. There's a song, the 6-7, and then they started talking about basketball as being 6-7, and then there was a real viral clip that's been seen millions of times of this guy going 6-7 on a basketball court, and then it just got picked up.
Is it score?
Yeah, it's kind of like it's between 6-7. It's like, no. Okay. But I don't think any of us will be able to understand it the same way. It's like when I was a kid, you had those little aliens in pods, and if you put the aliens together, there was the big rumor that those aliens would mate and multiply. And my parents didn't understand. I didn't know what that was. Yeah. But that's a real deep belief and core memory that I have.
It does make me feel old.
Yeah.
It's making me feel like I should be taxed on my £2 million property.
Yeah, I probably should.
And be cross about it. Okay, let's move on to our next gaffe. Reform MP Andrea Jenkins. People may remember her stunning at the Reform Party conference this year with a solo performance of her original song, Insomnia. And you better believe I'm going to play a clip of it now. Here we go. Okay.
I'm an insomniac. I'm an insomniac. Staring at the ceiling. Waiting for my thoughts to switch on. Yes,
block.
It feels mean to label this a gaffe because it was so brilliant.
Yeah, you were saying before we go on air, it's been in your head
I think
for
it's
a while.
a really good song.
It's not bad.
Yeah, the other night I
Well,
couldn't.
it is bad.
I said to my fiance, I didn't sleep well last night, and immediately started singing, "I'm an insomniac."
Yeah, I do sort of understand. Like, I think it's really funny that she did this. It's so funny to be like, oh, we've got all these people here. Can I just sing one of my songs?
One of my original songs.
Because she clearly just wants to be a performer.
Yeah, but she's really okay. She lacks a lot of self-awareness because obviously she can sing.
Yep.
And that song is a banger. But her performance as a politician, I mean, why is she a politician? She just go do that. Go sing in pubs or on cruise ships or whatever. Because she's a terrible, terrible politician. Yeah. She's so bad at doing any media at all. She completely loses her train of thought and just resorts to going, well, you for ages. Like, she should just do that.
Yeah, because
I believe in her.
Most of my media appearances, I end up doing that, but it doesn't matter because I'm a comedian.
You're not the
a politician.
Greater Lincolnshire mayor.
God, she's the mayor.
She's the mayor as well.
I think she should just like double down, and every single thing she does is just be making it an event where she sings a new song. I think that's a great modus operandi.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, so maybe we should remove this from biggest gaffe of the year and put it into biggest missed opportunity. Most untapped talent.
Yeah, yeah. It's just sort of like the memification or something of politics. Like why this was an idea that happened at the Reform
They
Party
just knew it
conference.
would go viral, didn't they? And that was what
Yeah.
they wanted. They just wanted to flood the zone with Reform Party conference.
Yeah.
You know, whether that's vaccine denial, I'm an insomniac, getting the words to the national anthem wrong.
Yeah.
You know, Nigel Farage coming out with dry ice. Whatever.
Yeah. There you go.
Good for them.
Well done, lads.
Well done, lads. Okay, we're going to move on to another terrible right-wing insomniac, Robert Jenrick. Sorry.
Robert Jenkin.
That's Robert Jenrick. I don't know about you, Will, but I've never seen Robert Jenrick and Batman in the same room.
Not once, no.
No. And yet, the Shadow Minister felt it was okay to fight crime outside of costume as he was confronting railfare dodgers for a video on X, formerly known as Twitter. Let's watch a clip of this.
God.
Oh, there he goes.
What a dweeb.
It was just standing over everyone's shoulder.
That's my favourite bit of the video.
Yeah. Oh, I hate him. Can I say that?
Yeah, I
I
think
just
so.
hate him. I hate his smugness. I hate his like transparent ambition that he wears so nakedly. I hate his evil far right views. Like I hate the way he goes about things. I don't like that guy.
I hate that he's got some, possibly some intern or advisor who's doing like a good job on the camera, censoring people's faces, doing all the subtitles and stuff. And I cannot believe that they let through the fact that a guy says I'm carrying a knife, and Jenrick didn't report that.
No.
He's just and it's just so nakedly like, I'm doing this for views.
Oh,
and I'm
100%.
doing this.
I don't actually care about making people safer.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure, didn't TfL like have a go at him because you're not supposed to film people on public transport without permission?
I don't know if that's the case. I know in certain places in London, TfL's probably different. If you don't have a tripod, you're fine to film.
Right.
But TfL's probably different. But it's just like, obviously he shouldn't dodge a fare. Everyone knows that. But I think it's way worse doing this surveillance state shit, snitching around, being like, why haven't you paid today? Do something else, man.
Yeah. And there's so many inconsistencies between that part of the right, the radical right, whatever you want to call them, which is that on the one hand, they're like super libertarian, free speech, you know, leave us alone, small state, And on the next, they're like, I'm absolutely going to go after like railfare dodgers or fly tippers or Turkish barbers, which are the other group he just like fucking hates for no reason, apparently. He's like the Ross Kemp, the middle class Ross Kemp of Turkish barbers. He's so weird about them. But I mean, again, you know, we talk about flooding the zone. I think that's what Robert Jenrick's trying to do. I mean, he just wants to become I think basically in the far right ecosystem that is X, your best shot at success, whatever that looks like, is by just being noticed. And by being noticed, you have to be kind of outrageous and ridiculous. And like, it's not, there's no good actually laying out thoughtful policy.
No.
If you want to be an MP with good visibility, you may as well do stupid, pointless shit like that.
Yeah. There's a lad on Twitter called Alistair something, who's a photographer, who posted a picture of the Whitechapel tube sign that is written in Bengali, and next to it is written in English. Obviously, he cropped that out. And it's just this like falsification of something when it's like there's a big Bengali community there, but this thing just ramps up and gets loads of views because you don't need to have facts.
No.
You just need to be like, oh, this is bad, isn't it?
Yeah.
And it's so much easier to do than filming like, I'm going to try hard to make this policy. It's boring.
I'd love him to go after some of his former Conservative colleagues about all the money that was taken during the COVID pandemic, for example.
Now that is woke nonsense though, because that's not like fair dodging. That's like sometimes £3 a go. That's so much money when you add it all up.
Also, do you know what is ironic? I bet you Robert Jenrick just hates TfL and Sadiq Khan and like anything like that would be part of his brand as well, wouldn't it? Part of this whole, so you know, the idea of making things fairer for Londoners. How does that play with their base? I don't know.
There's
just no consistency to any of this. No, it's just totally batshit.
Almost as if it's a grift to gain attention and views.
What did you think of my gaffes?
I think a really good gaffes.
Yeah. Do you have any gaffes you'd like to share?
Well, I'd forgotten. Mine had a bit too Nazi related. Elon Musk's gesture.
Oh, of course.
When Elon Musk didn't do a Nazi salute twice, and the rhetoric all around this of it being a Roman salute, when the Romans didn't do this, the Roman salute is not a thing. It was invented afterwards by Nazis. I just think it's completely batshit that this guy did this. The richest man in the world who endorsed the current president did this. And the fact there's any debate other than like, that was a dumb, awful thing to do. It is so boring.
But isn't it funny that like for any other time, such a high profile political figurehead, because he was part of the Trump administration.
Yeah.
Doing a Nazi salute or doing anything that resembled a Nazi salute accidentally would be a gaffe.
Yeah.
Now, in 2025, it's just like, that's not a gaffe. I meant to do that. It's a Roman salute. And anyway, even if I did, what's wrong with that?
He said on the Joe Rogan podcast, which is a great podcast, you should check it out, that he was like, how else do you wave to the crowd?
Yeah. Yeah.
My heart goes out to you. Just do it.
Also, the Queen was known for waving, wasn't she? She never once did a Nazi salute, as far as I'm aware.
And she has a German family.
So, come on, Elon.
Yeah,
that was pretty horrendous. Again, though, you know, not in the same way as Andrew Jenkins, but like, is it a gaffe if it was deliberate and signalling at a particular?
Yeah.
Should it just be like horrible moment of the year?
Yeah, I guess gaff is. Are there any gaffes anymore,
No.
or is it all just? It's the discussion between disappointing.
Yeah, when everyone's an edgelord. Is there any such thing as a gaff?
Is there any edge left?
No.
If everything is the edge.
Give us your last Nazi gaff then.
Kanye West released a song called Heil Hitler.
Oh my God.
Yeah,
Did he really?
He did.
So again, see, I'm not surprised.
No. I don't really have anything to say about that other than it happened. That happened this year.
What is the theme of the song?
Well, the chorus, 3 words. It's the N word and then Heil Hitler.
Jesus Christ.
So that's the song. He did that.
Okay.
And there's stuff on X of being like, oh, the left call everyone a Nazi these days. And it's like, what? Not everyone, but at least some people.
Some people. And it's like, are we overusing the word Nazi? And it's like, no, we're definitely not. It just doesn't seem to have the same impact as it used to.
Yeah.
Oh, dear. Okay. Another reason to get off X, guys. Okay, all right. All good gaffes. I think if I had to pick my number one gaff, I think for cringeworthiness, for the fact that it's stuck in my head, for the fact that it really was embarrassing, I'm going to choose Andrew Jenkins' performance of her original song, Insomnia.
I couldn't agree more. It feels like a dad at a party who makes everyone gather around and he plays the guitar because he was in a band and he could have gone pro, but he decided to stay in consultancy, you know?
Yeah. And I think if we've learned anything from Biggest Gaffe of the Year, it's that people have no shame anymore, because I don't think she sees that as a gaffe. So
no. But look, if she left Reform and did a one-woman musical, I'm not saying I'd go and watch it, but I would watch clips of it online.
I would totally go watch it.
Would you?
Yeah, I would, yeah. I would. Okay, all right. Coming up after the break, we're going to be giving the award for most shocking political moment of 2025. Stay tuned. Welcome back. You're listening to Politics Uncensored with me, Zoe Grunewald.
And me, Will Sebag-Montefiore.
With all that happened in 2025, it is hard to be surprised. But there were still moments of shock and awe. So what was the most shocking moment of 2025 if it wasn't all the Nazis we mentioned in the first section?
Oh, God, we use that word too much.
I know.
Ugh.
I do have some shocking moments. Okay, I've got 4. I'm going to take you through. Okay?
Great stuff.
The first, I think this wasn't like an acute shock, but I think it has probably been the most defining political change, especially in the UK, which is the collapse of the two-party system. Right? Yeah. So thanks to first past the post, the UK has had an undeniable two-party system for years. You know, the Lib Dems always kind of nibbling at Labour and Tories' heels, but very little prospect that you'd ever get any other party in government. But obviously this year has completely changed. Reform are topping polls left, right, and the Greens are gaining ground every day. Some people will argue, actually, there's no prospect of Nigel Farage entering number 10. But if you look at the polls and you look at the analysis, and if you look at what Labour is doing, which is very little to stop that, I think it is a real possibility. So for me, you know, it is a shock because it completely upends our British electoral system.
Yeah.
And the damage that Reform could do in government is not to be understated.
Totally. Do you think it's because of Partygate? Do you think it's because of 14 years of austerity and Tory rule? Or is it a mixture of all of that plus social media? I was thinking about this earlier. I think that when we look back at 2025, we will look at it as the year that centrism died. Wow.
I think, and centrism has been it's been dying for a while. But I think people are finally coming to the conclusion that not only was the sort of managed decline of the centre ground responsible for a lot of the crises that led us to this point, so the financial crash, Brexit, inequality broadening, but it also has absolutely no solutions to dealing with the problems it's created. So it has no answer to inequality. It has no story that's more compelling than the story that the far right or the left are telling. It cannot reassure the public. The only thing the centre ground can agree on is this idea of economic growth to kind of get us all out of the hole we're in. But people are saying, I don't feel that growth, and there's the policies you've created aren't actually meaning that growth is changing my standard of living.
It feels so abstract, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It's like my heating bills have tripled. It's like, well, we've got growth.
Yeah.
It's like, well, I don't care.
What good is growth if energy companies and supermarkets have realised that they can just continue putting their prices up to give their shareholders more profit? You know, it doesn't work. So I think it has been the inevitable, gradual, but eventual implosion of centrist politics.
Yeah.
And I think that is why
collapsed.
It's collapsing our two-party system.
And it doesn't feel like the Tories are the opposition anymore.
Yeah, because of course first past the post will reward a system where the two parties do converge in the middle, because you just want to kind of like take as many voters as possible. Yeah. So.
And is this why Labour are sort of scrambling to be like, oh, we're over here and also here?
Yeah. Oh, let me just. Yeah, and it's not working. Nope. Although recently they've been like, you know, just going for the right, but you know.
Yeah.
Giving it nothing on the left. Okay, second shocking moment.
I'll do a gasp each time.
Are you ready for this? Donald Trump knew Jeffrey Epstein.
Who's Jeffrey Epstein?
Yeah.
Which one's that guy?
I'm only joking. Obviously, that was not a shock. But what was a shock was the birthday message, the alleged birthday message that was published, I believe, by the Washington Post, that Trump had written to the notorious paedophile Jeffrey Epstein. and have been released by the House as well. So remember, this was a supposed drawing that Donald Trump had done. This was a birthday message that he'd sent to Epstein on his birthday. And it was like a drawing of a woman's naked body. Mm-hmm. And it had all the messages in this Epstein birthday book were like the most sinister messages you could possibly read. I mean, it was like all the people who wrote in it were like, how can we be as sinister and coded as possible and make ourselves look as guilty as possible? But this said...
all in print. Of course, we'll leave a paper trail. Why wouldn't we leave a paper trail?
This said, voiceover, there must be more to life than having everything. Donald, yes, there is, but I won't tell you what it is. Jeffrey, nor will I, since I also know what it is. Donald, we have certain things in common, Jeffrey. Jeffrey, yes, we do, come to think of it. Donald, enigmas never age. Have you noticed that? Jeffrey, as a matter of fact, it was clear to me the last time I saw you. Donald, a pal is a wonderful thing. Happy birthday. Something, may every day be another wonderful secret. And then Donald was signed in squiggly writing, made to look presumably like the woman's pubic hair. I mean, I'm sorry, but like, could you get creepier and weirder and more cryptic than that?
I hearing you read, I think they shagged. I think the two of them shagged.
The two of them, yeah.
The sexual tension in that is wild.
Yeah.
It's so funny that it's in a... I mean, obviously it's barbaric and horrible and everything, but it's so funny that he's drawn it in a woman's body.
You're right. And I also want to ask you, right, you know when you go to your mate's birthday, it could be like your best mate, and you're going to write them a birthday card.
Yeah.
I, like, even with my best friend, I'm always like, I don't want to put in this birthday card. I'm just like, happy birthday, love you so much. Like, you know, I hope you have a great day, love Zoe, because I know I'm going to, like, see her and, you know, have fun with her. And I'm like, the card's just a card.
It's just a symbolic thing.
Like, imagine fucking writing all of that shit.
Well, I have a lot of friends who are human traffickers, and this is the sort of thing that we do, where we try and do sort of poetry stuff.
Nice, yeah.
Like that, because that's a big part of human trafficking, is like the poetry element.
I do wonder if maybe
clues.
we should try and make like the lost art of cryptic birthday card writing is one that should be restored, because clearly it's, you know.
Yeah, it is. It doesn't. The fact that it ends with happy birthday is a real twist. Like, it doesn't feel like a birthday card.
No.
It doesn't feel like, dear Zoe, happy birthday, love Will. It's like, once in the universe there were things that happened, and that mystery is a beautiful thing. It's like a modernist poem, and then it's like, happy birthday, pal.
I know. What happened to happy birthday? I bought you a bit of cake.
I don't know if this is an okay thing to admit on radio, but I am quite jealous of Jeffrey Epstein.
You need to clarify immediately.
He had so many friends.
Yeah.
How many friends did this guy have?
I know.
If I had a birthday book, there'd be like 15 people in it.
Yeah.
And 5 of them in my family.
Yeah.
He had so many mates.
No, he makes the cast of Friends look, you know, like a bunch of loners. Like, he constantly had people around him.
The
and
Epstein
also,
cast of Friends would have been a cast of 103, all under the age of 15.
Probably some of, because there's quite a lot of, quite a lot of special guests on the set of Friends, right?
Yeah.
I do wonder. I would have to do my homework anyway. No, what I was
trying to work. What the Venn diagram crossover is.
Is there any crossover? But what I was going to say is, all these people who are like, I wasn't friends with Jeffrey Epstein. Have you seen how many photos he's got with all these? Like, how many photos do I have where I'm like arm in arm with somebody that I'm not friends with? Like, everyone being like, oh, I didn't really know. I just moved in the same circles as disgraced financier Jeffrey Epstein. And then they're always like,
and posed for
in
a
all
picture
the photos
with
like,
him and one of the victims.
It's just.
It is amazing.
Yeah, with this harem of women.
Yeah, was it just the 90s and everyone was like, whoa, a camera. Hey, let's get into it. But yeah, I don't have, as far as I know, I don't have many pictures with a notorious paedophile.
No, me neither.
Although,
you know.
my family friends, I lived in Leeds, and they had a picture of when they were kids just meeting Jimmy Savile.
Yeah.
So they could be indicted there.
Yeah, that does happen. I remember actually nights out at uni. You remember when everyone was just taking like loads of photos for ages? Like, did you ever do that? Where it's like, I used to like upload like a 90-page like digital album of just being like.
The best part about the night out was the Facebook album the next day. Yeah.
And there were always randoms in that. So maybe we should. Maybe we're being too judgmental.
Maybe we are.
Okay, I'm gonna move on to my third shocking moment.
Oh yeah.
Okay, closer to home. This was Rachel Reeves crying in the House of Commons. Do you remember this?
Yeah.
Rachel Reeves became overwhelmed by emotion in the House of Commons earlier this year, and we still don't know why. You might remember, so Keir Starmer was up on his feet. Rachel Reeves was sat behind him, just crying the whole time. Here, we've got a clip. Oh, and then Kemi Badenoch decided to mock her because she's such a lovely, caring woman.
Or at least she actually responded to something in PMQs for once, rather than just doing her 6 questions that are the same question.
Yeah. Oh, she just looks so. I mean, it was to be honest, it was really awful to watch because, you know, it's not nice to watch anyone cry.
No.
But it was so awkward because, you know, it was right there on camera while Keir Starmer was talking, and then it just wasn't addressed at all. And then Kemi Badenoch stands up and sticks a knife in, being like, "Have you seen your Chancellor? She looks miserable." And then everyone's like, "Way!" And it's like, oh my God, you guys.
Yeah, it's a really strange one. The fact I think it is an odd thing to have not acknowledged like why it happened, because it was a personal reason, and it made the markets go crazy, which I think is so funny.
Yeah.
The idea that you can react in a certain way and change the way money works.
I know. Why doesn't she just cheer more? She should just stand up and goes like, yes, yes.
Oh,
come on.
Just reading the budget, going, whoa, whoa. That's a great. Just keep on teasing the budget. Open that red suitcase and be like, oh.
We're rich.
Fact I called a briefcase a suitcase is how much I understand economics.
I think you understand economics perfectly well, because I agree. The Chancellor can do anything with a little smile.
What
on her
other
face.
emotions could she betray in the House that would change things?
Maybe like if she wanted another bank holiday, she should look fearful or something. You know, like on Sunday.
She spooked the market. Spook. Yeah.
Let's play Kemi Badenoch being horrible. Why not?
Madam Deputy Speaker, I've identified a way to save taxpayers huge amounts of money by sacking just one person, the woman sitting opposite. The ex-chief economist of the Bank of England was not mansplaining. He wasn't mansplaining when he said the uncertainty around today's budget is the single biggest reason growth has flatlined. What did the Chancellor think would happen when she went on breakfast telly to do an emergency public service announcement? I interrupt your Cheerios to bring you this frightening message about income tax. And then, unbelievably, she changed her mind 3 days later.
So this was later on in the year. This was post-budget coverage, not when Rachel Reeves was crying. But I'm not surprised Rachel Reeves is crying when Kemi Badenoch is that mean to her. Like, sorry, you can attack the Chancellor, but why does she need to do that little horrible voice mocking her?
Yeah, but like, I mean, surely this is like if you're getting affected by something that Kemi Badenoch said, like I just don't think she has anything of value to offer.
True.
Like, she's not really the leader of the opposition. No one in her party thinks she's, oh God, this is a good time to be here.
Yeah.
Like, why would you, if she's making fun of you, surely you're doing something right.
I don't know. She's a bit like the kid in The Simpsons who goes, ha ha.
Nelson Muntz.
Yeah, Nelson. Oh no, but Nelson is the bully as well. But you know when the other bullies, like the big ones, they like go in there, and then Nelson goes like, ha ha. She's like that. Like she's got nothing to add except just like sticking the knife in.
Yeah. But at least Nelson is like a likable character.
Well, more likable than Kemi Badenoch. I would say that if I had to choose.
If you had to choose who to go for a drink with, the fictional bully or
I'm so glad
you
remembered
bully.
his name, because I knew it was Nelson, but not his last name.
Yeah.
It's actually weird that you knew that. Anyway,
hey,
let's move on.
I don't know anything about politics, but I know The Simpsons.
Yeah, thank God. Okay, my last shocking moment is a more recent one. This was just the other week. Reform UK received the largest political donation from a living person in British political history as crypto millionaire, former Conservative and Brexit donor Christopher Harborne gave a whopping £9 million donation. I think we spoke about this last time.
Yeah, we did, yeah.
I mean, what could you do with £9 million?
So many cool things.
I know what I would do. Yeah. I would, if I were Reform, I would put up loads of lights around Oxford Circus just saying Christmas, because did you know that none of them
aren't any.
They don't say the word Christmas. Yes, they include stars and angels and, you know, other motifs you might recognise as being related to Christmas, but the actual word Christmas doesn't feature. Why? Woke.
Yeah, and therefore we don't know it's Christmassy.
I don't. No idea. I thought
Yeah.
that was just for like Sadiq Khan
Yeah. I thought it was
victory parade.
I thought it was. I thought it was like a Turkish flag, the little star and that. Yeah.
I thought it was a fair dodger meetup.
Yeah. Fair dodger.
I thought it was one of those fair dodger meetups.
Yeah, that they go
Someone
to.
should tell Robert Jenrick.
It's called It's Not Fair, and they all meet up and say, "I'm not paying for this." And they all walk through the door at the same time, just behind one another. Isn't that so? It's so violating when someone jumps in on your turnstile.
It is actually.
It is
Do you know what? It actually is. Like
maybe Jenrick's right. Do you know what I mean? Maybe actually he's a really cool guy who wears really nice short-sleeved shirts and walks around and does great brave things.
And definitely doesn't still take Ozempic.
Definitely doesn't.
He tried it, but it didn't work for him.
No.
So he says. I think they're all pretty shocking. Are you shocked? Do you feel shocked?
I feel shocked. I think the biggest shock is the collapse of the two parties for me. I think from where we were like a year or two ago to now being like reform are genuinely a possibility. And look, the Greens also are forging ahead. Great. But the way like the world has become like more siloed and divided. And I can't work out if social media is a cause or a symptom of that. And it just feels bleak and quite scary, I think. And everything's become all singular and lonely and far away from each other, and people are playing stuff on their phones more out loud.
And everyone's just like soft-serving Nazis on X. Like there's no line of unacceptability now. It's just like, oh, you want to forcibly remigrate people who are second-generation citizens in the UK. Yeah, that's fine. Do it.
Like,
really?
like is it the Overton window has shifted?
It's been bloody yanked off its hinges. It's not just shifted. It's been pulled off and stamped on.
It's bloody Overton door now. Bloody Overton hatch.
Okay, I agree with you, but I think just generally the Jeffrey Epstein files, the birthday book, the slow dissemination of all this material was so revealing, not just how deep this goes, how dark, how in plain sight it all was, but also how fucking blatant these people are and were, and how much they think they can just act with impunity. And I think that tells you so much about how disgusting power can be when it's left unchecked.
Yeah. I mean, one of the shocking moments was poor Prince Andrew getting his titles revoked.
Oh, I forgot about that. Bloody forgot about him.
Yeah.
There were actually quite a few shockers.
Sorry, Andrew. Shouldn't have called him Prince.
Yeah, just Andrew. Andy, we call him. We call him around here. Okay. Another surprise for you.
Oh, yeah?
We have to go to a break.
Oh!
I know. My producer runs a tight ship.
Biggest shock of the year for me.
But stay tuned, because after this, we will be discussing something that we never do on this show, which is what went well this year. Stay tuned. Hello and welcome back to Politics Uncensored with me, Zoe Grunewald.
And me, Will Sebag-Montefiore.
Okay, so there was a lot of doom and gloom in 2025, but there were some moments, I think, that stood out as positives, and we should give them some credit.
Yeah.
It hasn't. I mean, there have been a lot of Nazis.
Yeah.
But there has also been some green shoots, I would say, for progressives. Yeah?
That's nice.
Yeah, I think so. For me, we have spoken a lot about reform.
Yep.
And the death of the centre ground. But on the other side of the centre ground, we've also seen the rejuvenation of the Green Party.
Yeah, unbelievable.
Yeah, so Zach Polanski's victory as the Green Party leader has obviously led to the Greens surging in the polls. They become the UK's third largest party by membership. I think they're leading amongst young people. Polanski, I've been talking to some people in the Green Party over the last few weeks, and they're just so pleased with the fact that he is so good at disseminating their message in a way that seems to be cutting through, taking advantage of people turning away from Labour, taking advantage of people feeling like the traditional two-party system has abandoned them. And I think just generally, especially in the UK, where we do have this big problem, which I've spoken about a lot on the show, with intergenerational inequality, having a party that does look out for the interests of young people, I think is really important.
Yep. And he seems funny. Like, he's good at responding to things. He's good at sound bites. He doesn't sit in the middle.
Yeah.
Gives people proper answers.
I think he is good. I think he's a really good communicator. I think he comes across as a bit nervous still.
Oh, interesting.
What do you think? I've said this before and people have been like, no, but sometimes I feel like he comes across a bit rehearsed.
Oh, very interesting. I've not noticed that about him.
No.
But I do know slightly what you mean about the nervous thing, but I think he's just quite a gentle dude.
Yeah, he definitely is. But
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong, I like him. I'm not shitting on Zach.
Yeah. If he did, he'd probably say something quippy and funny about it.
He would. Yeah, he'd be probably quite nice about it.
Yeah.
And then he'd like take it home and use it to like fertilize his plants.
There you go.
Because he's green. But I've lost my train of thought.
Well, I mean, fair enough. You've lost your train of thought.
I've lost my train of thought.
Did you think just before Christmas you'd say that the Green Party leader was going to take your shit home and fertilise his plants?
Do you know
with
what?
it?
That's the sort of thing Jeremy Clarkson writes like in his columns in like the fucking Daily Mail. That was just a joke, Zach. No, and also I genuinely believe he is. He's really good. And the reason I think he sounds rehearsed is because you have to be rehearsed if you are the Green Party leader, because people will constantly cut you off. They will not give you. You have to fight for your media space, and therefore you have to fight to deliver your message. So I'm not having a go because I think it's actually an interesting insight into how the Greens feel like they need to be. They can't be as relaxed as like the fucking Tories who are always going to have a seat at the table, or Labour. They have to be like, no, we have one shot to make this message.
Yeah, and do you know what's pissing me off?
Oh yes, go on.
Jeremy Corbyn and Zara Sultana. Your party is the worst name that has ever been conceived by anyone naming anything in the history ever.
Yeah.
I love you. Like, you're working your hardest. Stop it. Back Zach, baby.
I was gonna put potentially your party in Gaff of the Year because of the whole damn thing.
It's so embarrassing.
But they've pissed me off so much. I don't even want to talk about them. Like, it is embarrassing. It just is embarrassing. And it's embarrassing if you are on the left and you're like, no, we can pull it together. And then two of the biggest figureheads on the left cannot stop publicly fighting and like fighting to ego death. It's like, stop.
I think they're being just as blind as Keir Starmer is in terms of the atmosphere of the country. And just read the room, lads. Like, one of you's boycotting one day of your own conference.
Yeah, that's really embarrassing.
You can't boycott somewhere for a day.
Yeah.
That's just not going there for a day.
I'm just going to stay at home. It's kind of like cooking. This is a really bad metaphor.
I love it. Double
cooking Christmas dinner.
Here we go.
And then sitting in your room and eating a bag of What's-Its because you've fallen out with your family.
Okay, so what's Christmas dinner in this analogy?
That is your part. That's like putting together the left for your party.
Oh, interesting.
So you're feasting on the veritable feast that is progressive ideals.
Okay, the feast is progressive ideals.
And you've pulled it together.
Yeah.
But then you've fallen out with your mum because, you know, she was like, oh, I think we should serve dinner at 4, and you're like, no, I want it at 2, so you've fallen out. Yeah. So instead you go upstairs and you just eat a big grab bag of What's-Its in your room.
Which is not, that's not a feast of progressive ideals.
No, that's like bitching on Twitter.
It's a perfect analogy.
It's
now
perfect.
You
If you just thought about it, it's actually perfect.
Yeah, it didn't work on me it was my fault it didn't work.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. Well, let's move on because you clearly don't understand that one. Okay, Zoran Mamdani's victory in New York. So we know that Zoran Mamdani, who is the gorgeous baby-faced New York mayor of the left, won the mayoral race against Andrew Cuomo in what was the biggest political upset of the year. Mamdani's message was one of affordability. It was progressive. It was vaguely socialist. And he won the Democratic primary and the mayoral race. And now he is presiding over New York, a city built on power and money, and the city that made Donald Trump. And Mamdani is sat on it all saying, we're going to make this place fairer. We're going to have better buses. You're going to have affordable rents. You're going to have state-owned grocery store. And it's going to be fucking sick.
No notes, man.
Yeah.
That's great.
It was great. Like, in New York as well. That's the thing. Like, you know, this isn't just a little socialist uprising. This is like one of the most important cities in the world.
Yeah, crazy.
In a country that is being swallowed by the authoritarian right.
Yeah, and it just goes to show, like, providing responses and opposition to this stuff works.
And staying together on message and not fighting because dinner was served at the wrong time.
We'll work out when to eat dinner. Dinner being progressive politics.
Yeah.
You just need Mamdani to cook it for you.
No.
No, sorry.
No, that's not right at all.
Okay.
No, you need everyone to cook it.
We're all cooking it.
But don't get bogged down on what time it's served. It'll be served when it's served. The most important thing is that everybody was cooking it together and everyone was willing to compromise. So someone wanted roast potatoes, someone wanted mashed potatoes. You had both, you know? It wasn't a big deal.
This is sounding very, very communist. Everyone gets their own potatoes.
And do you know
This
who
is
you sound
anarchy.
like? Donald Trump. But remember what happened with Donald Trump and Mamdani?
Yeah.
He came around to liking him in the end, didn't he?
Yeah, because he said you can say I'm a fascist.
Yeah.
And
I
that's
was like,
pretty
go
cool,
on,
isn't
you
it?
can say it.
Yeah, you can say it. Why not? I want one set of potatoes for Christmas lunch.
So, yeah, I think that was a great moment. Great moment for the left. Beacon of hope in a time which seems like all we're talking about is the far right swallowing everything.
Yeah.
The big question is, can Mamdani deliver?
Can he deliver the Christmas dinner
On time.
from the kitchen
Possibly.
to the dining room? Will he carve out
A
a
veritable
space
feast.
for himself?
Yes. Very nice. Excellent. I think
Yeah.
it works.
I think the
And it's
more we
Christmassy.
say it, the more it works.
The more we explain it, the more it works. Okay, next little snippet of light. Domestically here in the UK was the Renters Reform Bill passing. So a rare positive thing to say about this Labour government, but we do always try and give it its dues where we can, which is that the Renters' Rights Bill has come into effect, bringing a swathe of new rights and protections for millions of people renting up and down the country. This includes banning Section 21, which is no-fault evictions, the right to request a pet, a ban on the bidding wars and new standards for social housing. All of these great new additions. I would say there's more that could be done to solve the rent sector, and we definitely need to build more affordable homes. But this was kicked into the long grass with so many governments.
Yeah.
You know, it was so hard to get anything through the landlord lobby in Parliament. And I think it's really hard to understate just how much insecurity was being put into people's lives from just the prospect of being evicted at any time.
Yeah, and rents going up and stuff. I have I was on a stag do the other day, and because of the nature of the kind of stag do's I go on, one of the guys there works for a company that does social housing, and he was telling, this is another bit of little props to the Labour government, is that they could not get a meeting with anyone in housing. This company couldn't get a meeting with anyone during the whole of the Tory rule, and then when Labour got in, they were able to get meetings. They are able to at least have a conversation about more social housing, which is a good start.
Yes, it's a good start, and I think we should. I think a lot of people like to say that Labour and the Tories are the same, and on some things there is definitely not enough clear water between them. But I think on this particular issue, and I would also add the Employment Rights Bill in there. I would add renationalising the railways.
Yeah,
you can see that true Labour element coming through, which is standing up for the underdog and people who are, who work really hard and aren't getting a fair deal from how society was structured. And in this case, it was the housing market. So I am going to give props to the Labour government for that.
So that's their Christmas dinner, but then there's a side of...
I think that's like their little cauliflower cheese or something.
Great, but next to the cauliflower cheese is a bowl of shit that says "Stop the Boats" on it.
Yeah. And
they keep dipping that into the cauliflower cheese. And you're like, sure, this cauliflower cheese was nice, but now you've put shit in it.
Yeah. And then Zach Polanski takes the bowl of shit.
And he fertilizes his cauliflowers and he makes cauliflower cheese from scratch.
Something in that, actually. Because he's you could argue the way he's kind of reversed the immigration message to actually talk about the positive impact of immigration. I might give him a ring and just talk him through this whole metaphor and see if he wants to maybe use it in some way.
I think
it's good.
It could be the whole of next year could be based on this.
Yeah.
Build up to Christmas dinner.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Finally, another little beacon of light domestically here in the UK. Again, in the fight against the far right. Plaid Cymru's election victory in the carefully by-election in Wales. Labour was wiped out. Labour had held this seat for such a long time. It was one of their safest seats. It really seemed like Reform was going to win it. And that felt like, if Reform can seize a seat in a Labour heartland, what does that mean for our political system? What does that mean for the way Labour's going to turn? What are we going to see on the back of that? Actually, Plaid Cymru, centre-left party that was focusing on issues close to local constituents, cost of living messages, progressive politics, not fighting that battle on immigration that Labour and Reform are, actually snatched victory from Reform and won with 47.4% of the vote. Over 3,000 votes, almost 4,000 votes ahead of Reform that got 36% of the vote, and Labour's vote share, God, so bad, down to 11%. That is 35% drop in their vote share. Extraordinary.
That's huge. And Reform being second is pretty horrifying.
It is. But I think what this shows you, and the reason why I think this is positive, is because you could argue it's actually negative, because look at how Reform performed.
Sure.
But I think what this shows us is we haven't yet tested what the Stop Reform coalition of voters looks like.
Yeah.
We talk about all the people who want to vote for Reform, but we don't talk about actually all those people who will turn out in droves to block Reform.
To vote against them.
Because we have to remember, more people in this country do not like Nigel Farage than like him.
Yeah, and I do wonder the amount of coverage and like the fact that we keep saying the sentence, Farage could be the next Prime Minister. Like, how much is that a self-fulfilling prophecy? That the more we say it, the more it becomes a thing that people believe could happen.
And then there's no point going out to try and stop him, because it's going to happen.
Yeah, because it's like, well, that makes sense. I'm really conflicted about it. I'm also conflicted about the fact that nobody seems to talk about how carefully is called carefully. And they must, like, carefully, that's so funny. That I know it's the Welsh language and stuff, but it sounds like carefully. And do they vote carefully and carefully?
They voted very carefully here. I actually had to do like a little voiceover for a video about this, yeah. And not only did I butcher Plaid Cymru, but I butchered carefully. And in fact, all the comments were just people being like, "Who the fuck is this bitch?"
Isn't it carefully?
I don't know, to be honest. I don't
You
know.
should. You should have read those comments, actually.
Well, the thing is, people can say in the comments, but I'm still going to read how I think it's pronounced.
They should send you DMs with voice notes.
I'm not being, I'm not trying to upset the Welsh. It's just that I mostly read stuff rather than hear it.
Well, I mean, I'm upset on behalf of the Welsh, I'd say.
So I'm sorry to the Welsh. So what, you think it's carefully?
I actually don't know what it is. I think it's carefully or something.
Yeah, and then Plaid Cymru.
It's probably not a good idea to be guessing.
Oh, okay. Well,
So
don't pick that one for your best for your best moment, because
Okay,
I don't want
great.
to have to say it again. So what are you going to pick?
Oh, that's fun, isn't it?
What would you go for? Polanski, Mamdani, Renters, unnamed by-election.
I think Polanski. I think it's really cool that he's sort of using the same digital sphere and doing a better job, I think, than Reform are in speaking the digital language of the youth and people and what people care about. I think he's great. I think he's really funny. I think he knows how to communicate his message. And I think it's exciting. And like he's completely turned the Greens around, just like that. And obviously there's the tide has turned as well, but he's rode it rather than the tide turning in your party being like, who's making Christmas dinner again? So yeah, I'd choose Polanski.
Polanski, okay.
Yeah.
I'm going to go for, even though I told you couldn't go for it, I'm going to go for the by-election simply because...
Where was that, by the way?
In Wales somewhere.
Oh, cool.
But I'm going to say that because I really do think this is going to be the key thing we're going to start discussing as we get closer to the next election. Also, when we go to the May elections in the Senate, again, another word I'm not entirely sure how to pronounce, but Senate?
I think it's a snood. I think that's what they call
Snood.
it. Yeah.
We do not know what the Stop Reform Coalition looks like, but it is there.
Yeah, and
people need to believe it's there.
And I think the likely person to lead that charge would be Polanski, rather than. I don't think Keir Starmer's gonna be like, the system works. Let's just make it. Just vote for me. I'll keep the promises I didn't keep this time. I promise.
God, it's like he's here in the room.
Thank you.
6-7.
6-7.
So that's the year then.
The whole year.
Gone.
Bye. See you later.
Just like that. So, yeah, what did you think? Was it good for you?
No. It was good for me because I think I exist in a demographic that means it's sort of always fine for me.
Yeah.
But if I can't work out if this just happens as you get older, that you think things are getting worse, or that this is a particularly damaging and dangerous time, or that social media amplifies a lot of that stuff.
Yeah.
But I do think that it feels harder to get people to change their minds. And I think all of the views that I hold that I think are good and valuable are views that have been changed by other people. And I think openness is really cool, and I worry that we're closing.
Yes, I'm a bit worried also about social media and like the polarization that comes with it, which is basically what you're saying. Definitely X. I will keep telling, and I will tell everyone, don't get off X. There's no point. It's just the kicked in the balls factory, as my friend called it. And I thought that was really funny because it basically is like, why would you want to go on there just to get shouted at or just be hit by like Nazi propaganda all day?
Yeah, I find it very conflicting as a comedian because I post like left-leaning comedy online. And I think the most sensible thing to do for growth, which is all we want, Rachel, it would be to post it on X because that's where it's most controversial. That's where most people would disagree with it. They'd argue about it and it would rise to the top. But I just hate it. It's too horrible and I don't want to feed it.
No.
So I don't know. I don't want to give it my Christmas dinner.
I think, get off it. What about Blue Sky? No, there's no growth on there.
No, not that much. No, but if you want to follow me on Blue Sky, you
follow you on Blue Sky, maybe on Instagram too, TikTok.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah.
Do you feel hopeful, Zoe?
I feel hopeful. Sure, why not?
Why not?
Yeah.
She said that very carefully.
I feel. Look, I have to feel hopeful because I'm supposed to be turning 30 and getting married next year. So things have to be fine. I think because I have things to do.
Great. Yeah, I think it's good. It's important to stay hopeful. And I think the things like Polanski, the Renters Bill, Mamdani, like it does feel like there are things that we can focus on. We focus on the negatives, and I think that is also social media because it throws all the negative stuff at you. And goes,
yes, I think
panicking about this.
Everyone's New Year's resolution should be to go out and touch grass.
Yeah.
But
if you do want to know what's on people's phones, you should listen to privacy settings on FUBAR radio, I reckon.
Yeah, I think that's a good New Year's resolution. And of course, keep checking out Politics Uncensored.
Nah, don't do that. Just listen to mine.